Hello, my name is George. Thank you for having us, and thank you for letting us talk in English since we cannot speak Swedish. So I'm here with my colleague Sanna to represent our project, which is called, as you already mentioned, TEXTaiLES. So the name stands for textile study, research, digitization, and tools that are going to be developed with the use of AI for textiles. So that's why we came up with this name. So in the submission, it was a very risky decision when we submitted the proposal. So everyone was doing a variety of artifacts like vases, marble, or anything. And our focus was only on textiles. So that was kind of risky, but it turned out pretty well. So I'm George. I'm a surveying engineer with a PhD from the electrical and computer engineering department. And so I have a technical background, and I'm going to do the first introduction of the project. Then Sanna will represent all the use cases that we have and what we're doing there. And finally, I'm going to close the speech with the tools that we're going to develop in order to support the community of textiles. So a bit of an overview. So TEXTaiLES was a project that was submitted and got funded in the first round of this ECCCH call for sister projects under the ECOS. So just to mention, ECOS is building the European Collaborative Cloud for Cultural Heritage, which is a very, very big initiative. It will give a lot back to the scientific community as well as the general public, since it's going to, apart from being just a repository, offer also a variety of tools that will be openly available to the scientific community to use. That will come from the sister project. So one of the sister projects is our project, and two others were funded in the first round. And in September, we had the kickoff of another, I think, 6 projects. So our project is a research and innovation project, which means we're gonna focus on more research than innovation in this project, and it will last for 36 months. So we'll have to deliver everything till the end of August 2027. Our consortium is a multidisciplinary consortium, so we have partners that are archaeologists, of course, and we have technical partners. So in total, we're 10. I'm from the Athena Research Center. We have Sapienza University of Rome. We have the Center for Research and Technology, Hellas, which is also from Greece, the University of Warsaw, the University of Oulu, Technai, which is a company that leads the dissemination actions of our project, Nubis, that focuses on the integration part, because we need to integrate all those tools into the ECOS, which will be the European Collaborative Cloud, the Fraunhofer Institute, Axeligence, which is a company from Cyprus focused on technologies that involve UAVs, and the Textile Museum from St. Gallen. So that's a photo just to show the people that are behind this project, some of the people that are behind of this project. It is from our kickoff meeting back in Greece. So that's the distribution along the map of Europe where we have partners. And some things for the management is our project officer is Carla Roca Gomez. I have the honor to be the coordinator of this project. And these are all the names of people that are leading some of the main aspects of the project. So that's our timeline. We are currently in month 13, so a lot of things are starting to happen now. So tools are being developed. Digitization campaigns have already been conducted, for example, in Pompeii or in Oulu or in Greece. As you already know, a lot of changes must happen because what you plan cannot always be implemented since archaeological sites are being renovated, some places are closed, some are stored, so we have to adapt to that. And we're doing that. So, how we started to build our project. So, despite the recent methodological advancement in the European textile research digitization, it has not received yet that much of attention. So, in comparison, for example, to vases or marble or statues. So, this lack of attention can be attributed to the significant technical challenges that are related to textiles, so they're not rigid. For example, in Greece, we had the Benaki Museum, where we have a big bed tent that was in a room that was around 500 square meters, and the air condition was causing a very, very slow movement to the textile. So these are things that you have to take into consideration when you deal with textiles. And we need to develop specialized tools for either the digitization and also the later on the process of them. So if we want to say it in a nutshell, our goal is to build the methodological foundation for digitizing cultural heritage textiles object and producing a standardized protocol in terms of technical means and methodological workflows. And also to give it back to the community, to the scientific community, through the European Collaborative Cloud for Cultural Heritage. So what we're doing here, we learn from the past, we utilize and exploit all the knowledge that has already been built within the community, scientific community, and work on that. We want to standardize, we want to have standardized tools and methods for the whole life cycle of digitization of textiles, and also to come up with innovative research related to textiles that includes AI tools that will be employed for the study of textiles. All of this will be openly available, open sourced, and available to the general public and to the scientific community. So, the main goals, if we want to list them, is to have a universal, portable, and affordable textile data acquisition, large scale, so that we can scan as many as we can in a limited time period, as far as we can get in the accuracy of the 3D digital replicas, and also accompany the 3D digital replicas with heterogeneous information related to that textile. That could be, for example, multispectral information or whatever you can think of. Delivery of digital tools. So in the last part of this presentation, we're going to list and introduce the current state of our digital tools that we have, and in general promote the textile tradition in Europe and outside of Europe. So here is just a picture of a textile study, how it was, for example, produced, and how we study them. So apart from the delivery of tools and the protocols for digitization, we want also to have educational activities. So that will be targeted for humanity professionals. So when we are going to have them in a state that they're all ready to be delivered to the European Collaborative Cloud, we're going to ask for input from the scientific community and also educate them and familiarize them with those tools. Also for students, we intend to incorporate it into in the curriculum of universities, and also for industry professionals, which is a bit of outside the cultural heritage community, but it's also a very vivid community, the textile community. And finally, for people that, like me, that have a technical background, so that they can familiarize themselves with those tools and also further development. It's a multidisciplinary consortium where people from technical backgrounds, where people from, as I mentioned, archaeological backgrounds. So it's a very, very tough and also intriguing task to work together and find a common ground in order to be productive. So I will give the floor now to my colleague Sanna to present the second part.
Thank you. I'm Sanna Lipkin from the University of Oulu, and I'm an archaeologist. And today I will talk about the use cases that we have very shortly, and the challenges that we have come up with textiles. Well, we have been working with textiles, and then the use case that is in my charge, the use case of Turku Cathedral. As George said, there are a lot of challenges related to documenting archaeological textiles, and these challenges include that textiles are typically very small scale and intricate. Textiles are often in poor condition, and there are also issues with fading of colors, carbonization, missing parts, or complete loss of the textile. Silk and metal threads for fine textiles are highly reflective, which causes problems in documentation. Some textiles can be markedly oversized. Textiles are soft and elastic. Movement that is characteristic for property for textiles causes challenges because modeling motion dynamics can be demanding when we want to model motion. Textiles are sensitive materials. They require safe handling for digitization, and that can be challenging. Finally, evidence for of textiles may be indirect, preserved, for instance, as imprints on clay. The use cases, there are 8 different use cases around Europe in different collections. And I will present the first 7 use cases quite quickly, and then and concentrate on the challenges that each use case has, and how the Textiles Consortium is trying to solve those. Greek ancient textiles have been excavated in the different regions of Greece, dating from the 10th century BCE to the 11th century CE. They are mainly mineralized excavated textiles, but the items also include fragmentary textiles decorated with glossy gold threads that are challenging to document. Within the consortium, the aim is to increase 3D documentation quality and use AI-powered tools for digital reconstructions of finds in poor condition to enhance their aesthetic appreciation. Benaki Museum collection includes Western fashion and Greek traditional costumes and accessories. And within the consortium, motion and dynamics modeling simulation will be developed to provide movement to the objects that are still now very not moving, and these items also have very sophisticated cuts and decorative patterns that can be challenging. Textile collection from Pompeii includes mineralized, carbonized, and gold textile fragments from the 1st century AD. Fragmentation makes their handling difficult, and carbonized samples are dark and glossy, whereas gold fabrics and mineralized textiles are reflective. We will use multispectral imaging and photogrammetry to document complex structures and reveal hidden features in these textiles. Textile imprints on human plaster casts from Bombay are low relief, and the casts have irregular glossy surfaces. We will use reflectance transformation imaging and multispectral imaging to provide models that can be viewed as digital twins. And the aim is to look for options for separating garments from the body cast digitally. Modern casts of Bronze Age clay ceilings from Greece are stored in Heidelberg. On these, it's challenging to capture low relief weaves, threads, knots, and fibers in the casts that are made from original seals recording imprints. The aim is to identify raw materials via AI technologies because there are hundreds of these casts. And we aim also to produce 3D reconstructions of the impressed textiles from 3D cast replicas. The collection of the Opera Theatre Archive in Rome includes stage costumes worn by distinguished opera and ballet performers from the 19th century to the present day. It's challenging to record full costumes and high reflective surfaces. The aim is to produce digital twins with associated metadata about designers, artist date, and performance, and to develop AI-powered tools to recover restoration solutions. Textile Museum St. Gallen collection includes European lace that is both hand and machine made from 14th to 20th centuries. Laces are transparent, and they are both low and high relief. That is a challenge in documentation. When stored flat, laces lose their original shape, of course, and also complicated lace techniques can be difficult to identify. The consortium aims to reconstruct the garment's shape via digital twins and find safe ways to digitize oversized textiles. Next, I will present our research and what we have been doing in Oulu with Turku Cathedral collection, and I will share the experiences that that will be useful when we during the coming year begin planning the upskilling curricula for for other people working with cultural heritage textiles, and our aim is to find best practices and instructions for other people. In the early 1920s, during restoration work of Turku Cathedral, graves beneath the floor were examined, and hundreds of funerary fabrics were found. Most pieces of 17th and early 18th century funerary attire were found from so-called waste coffins that had been used to collect fabrics, items, and human remains from those coffins that were removed from the chambers when new burials were made. This was regularly done to have space for new burials. For many of the fabrics, the original pure context was lost already in the 17th and 18th centuries. However, some fabrics were collected from the original coffins, and some individuals have been identified. The items in the collection also include a cut-off piece of fabric that is said to originate from Queen of Sweden, Karin Mondotter's burial. The collection is invaluable, and it includes whole silk gowns, floral accessories, bonnets, glazes, gloves, stockings, coffin furnishing, etc. About 280 items have been conserved so far. However, an unknown number of items still lie in the boxes sealed about 100 years ago. And the collection remains largely unpublished today. 6 items were selected for documentation within the Textiles project, and these include a child's silk slipper from Kick's family tomb, a fontan bonnet found in Enneschelt's family chamber, woman's silk bonnet found in Kempe's family chamber, a silk bonnet with silver bobbin lace from Fifthwood's family chamber, and a headdress with a crepe veil from Childrenstolpe's family chamber. And then we have one unconserved bonnet and a piece of fabric from Petro's Toslev chamber that are still stored in the original box. And we chose this to provide 3D documentation to aid any future conservation work. At Oulu, we have been working together as a team of 3 archaeologists, and I would like to thank for the efforts of Samuel Reinikainen and Erika Rule. And this presentation also includes their ideas and notions on what we have been doing. When we made the selections and items, we tried to pick up items that were particularly difficult to document and conserve also. So we selected items with silver-coated yarn and silk laces that have reflective surfaces. We took items with high color contrast surfaces. We selected items with complicated patterns and items with different fabric layers and complex seams to test how we can study the reverse sides and internal structures. We have applied photogrammetry to document these complex and pliable and light archaeological textiles that are also very fragile. In addition, we have tested reflectance transformation imaging, which is suitable to produce a kind of a 2.5D image of relatively flat items and or spots on items. We have also used microcomputed tomography that enables visualization of internal structures. Next, I will focus on a few more specific problems in the documentation and our solutions. Textile surfaces are not flat. There are pores and creases on the textiles that lead to underexposed areas in photography. However, fluting with flight is not always feasible due to reflective qualities, because highlights can be a bigger problem than underexposed areas. Our solution has been to use single or cross-polarization effect on photogrammetric recording. We used polarizing camera lens filters and polarizing screen on light sources. These three figures are ortho photos of the same title on a cap created with accelerated exposure strategies done by Samuel Reinikainen. On your left, he turned the lights down to eliminate most of the glare, resulting in underexposed product. In the middle, he attached polarizing screens to the lights, which had a remedining effect on the highlights, but it was still necessary to increase the amount of light in the camera. And the camera took in quite a bit, and that resulted in a garish coloration. In the final orthophotography on the right, he placed it with strong light to test the limitations of the cross-polarizing gear. On one hand, cross-polarization made it possible to capture the depth of gold color at a level that far exceeded the human eye alone, but it is still clear from the highlights that it is not an automatic fix to modeling reflected textiles. And someone noticed that you will still need to be very intentional with the way you handle the light. Another challenge in the textile documentation is that yarns and fibers are not visible in digital 3D models that are done at standard magnifications. However, increasing magnification creates new challenges. Small depths of focus result in blurry images. In addition, higher skill requirements for the modeler are needed. An increase in magnification leads to the increased data sizes. At macro level magnification, small and flat objects require focus stacking. And finally, increased time is required for modeling delicate items. Our solution has been to apply magnifications up to 2:1 on key textile details, and this means that not whole items such as bonnets will be documented in high magnifications. For this model, Samuel shot a cap at 0.2:1 magnification. That is what he could consider at the lower end of a standard magnification for an object of this size. And he used polarizing screens on our light sources for this model. Here in the end, you will see the textile data that was selected for further documentation with higher magnification that you will see here in the next slide. And this is shot with 2:1 magnification with cross-polarization. We can conclude that in order to faithfully reconstruct this textile detail, it was necessary to employ photogrammetry using macro techniques, and we were even successful in reconstruction individual yarns that are also visible in this magnification. This is a 1/2:1 micro level magnification model done with a polarizing screen in the light source. Based on our trials, the range of 1/2 and to 1/1 may be a more feasible close range photogrammetry range to recommend, especially for people who are not dedicated macro photographers. At Oulu, we have years of experience in studying both human remains and archaeological textiles with computed tomography. And we have been closely collaborating with the university hospital and the Faculty of Medicine. Computed tomography scanning is based on X-rays. It is a non-destructive imaging method that provides information about the internal structures of an object in 3D. In CT scanning, X-ray energy and power need to be optimized so that parts of the X-rays attenuate in the imaged object to cause intensity changes in the X-ray detector, reflecting the structure and density of the imaged object. CT scanning enables virtual visual inspection and slicing of the investigated object in any direction, or making parts of transparent to see internal structures of the item non-destructively. This is important when investigating fragile items that should not be damaged or opened. While visualizing the scans, it is obvious that the image intensity reflects the density of the object due to the possible imaging protocols with clinical CT at the hospital. Making fabrics visible is considerably difficult as textiles density is close to that of air. So textiles often remain transparent. However, in our case, considered that the clinical CT scanning was important before, it was considered that this clinical CT scanning was important before micro CT scanning, as it quickly, in about 20 minutes, gives an idea of the internal structures of the items. In our case, we concluded that the Gyldenstolpe headdress was not worth the micro CT scan because it turned out that the core of the headdress was made of iron wire. With micro CT, it is almost impossible to visualize textile items with a lot of metal in them, because metal can cause streaking artifacts that distort the image quality, as seen in the uppermost image. We have used two different CT modalities. Several factors need to be considered when selecting the modality and the device, the size of the object, the required resolution, and the material properties of the object. Clinical CT used in the hospitals to make full body scans of humans typically produce data sets with voxel size between 0.5 to 0.1 millimeter. While microcomputed tomography devices generally are capable of achieving voxel sizes of less than 100 micrometers and even less than 1 micrometer on nanofocus systems that we have tested in our previous project. Differences in the modalities and whether to use det finns batterier till nästan urlatta. Det rekommenderar att ansluta datorn till en eluttag. Okay. So the differences in the modalities and whether to use low resolution or higher resolution options in micro CT scanning can be seen in these two visualizations done by Eeva Nevaranta from the Faculty of Medicine. The streaking Shadows coming from the bronze bins on the left-hand side video prevented us from providing a successful micro-CT model of the slipper. But we chose one spot from the slipper where there was no metal nearby and scanned it with high resolution. The result is very good quality image of a small portion of the item, but it shows the device's capacity to provide fiber level visualization that enables fiber identification that we have been able to do previously on nanoscale devices with another devices that provide nanoscale visualizations. Micro-CT scanning provides the possibility to visualize challenging objects in 3D with a richness of internal features that is not otherwise visible or researchable using conventional 2D microscopy methods. Depending on the device capacities, there can be limitations on how big items can be placed inside the devices. Basically, the smaller the item is, the better the scanning quality is. Item must be also placed inside the device vertically, which will prevent scanning of some textiles. One disadvantage of the method is that the CT data has no color information. However, the advantages of micro-CT include that archaeological textiles may be covered with dirt, which makes the analysis of the properties very difficult, and the fragility of these textiles can prevent cleaning. It is possible to digitally remove dirt and patina or fabric layers virtually from the surface of the fabrics. Our data processing is still in the beginning, but as you can already see in this quickly made visualization, it will be possible to remove the lace layer from above the silk fabric and see the pattern in the fabric below. Micro-CT also enables easy and quick reconstructions of, for instance, how textiles were woven or clothes sewn. As you can see, with only one turn, you can view the rear side of the fabric on your desktop. Further segmentation of individual fibers, yarns, or items makes visualization of complicated patterns or even individual fibers even easier. All 3D documentation methods have their advantages and disadvantages, and it always needs to be remembered that every 3D model is a visualization and a product based on interpretation by the maker. Visualizations require at least a certain set of skills, but however, we consider that combining different 3D documentation methods will provide the best possible reconstruction of the items. And even though 3D models, photogrammetry models bring value to the textile research, they, for example, help understanding the textile patterns. The models will not replace 2D images, and no 3D model is yet as accurate as 2D images are. Nevertheless, we hope that the 3D models that we have produced will become part of the new exposition at the Turku Cathedral once it will reopen next after the renovation of the church that will begin next year. So I will hand over to George.
So, thank you. This is the last part of our speech. So, we wanted to introduce automatization in all levels of the textile study. So basically, we have three work packages. One that is focused on data acquisition techniques, one that is focused on the intelligent processing of the data that are produced by the digitization, and finally, the digital toolbox, which is mainly the things that we're going to upload to the European Collaborative Cloud for Cultural Heritage and how we're going to integrate them. So we're going to install like sensor devices for monitoring the health, let's say, of textiles in an exhibition. We're going to develop UAVs that could safely navigate and without disturbing the textile around the textile object in order to digitize it. We are going to develop a custom ground vehicle that will be equipped with a robotic arm in order to produce data that will lead to a 3D digitization. And moreover, we're going to test. It's a research direction also for us. It's a goal to automatically focus on areas that need more attention so that we can collect more data on those areas. So these are the three pillars. We have the data acquisition, as mentioned, the intelligent processing, and the documentation. So that's the UAV that will be able to fly in no-fly zones, like GPS denied in interior spaces. Here's algorithmically how we're going to approach the digitization, the data collection, depending on the position of an object and its special conditions that every item needs. That's the ground vehicle. At this point, we have it. It works as a simulation. We work on a simulation environment. We just received the robotic arm that will be equipped with the camera, and that will go around and collect all the data that we need. And it will automatically, on the fly, identify also the areas that need special attention in order to reconstruct it. So here you can see how the robot works in simulation. Oh, no, just 1 second. Okay, so here basically we will have a QR code that will be just put in front by the cultural heritage scientist or the conservator. And with this QR code, the robot knows where to go and it starts collecting all the data. The data are uploaded automatically to the server. The server is doing all the processing online, real time, and then makes a rough 3D reconstruction that can be further on enhanced with the focus on the problematic areas. So basically, we won't substitute structure from motion, which is basically photogrammetry, but we want to introduce also new techniques that are more AI-based, like Gaussian splatting, that can be used in order to produce 3D models based on these new techniques. So that's just a 3D reconstruction from a small object. That's the workflow of our method that will be based on Gaussian splatting. So basically, we're going to have the images that are going to be captured. we're going to segment the images and throw out all the areas that are not of interest to the reconstruction. So basically the background. And then we're going to reconstruct the scene based on only the parts that are important from each image. Here's an automation that was applied at the archaeological park of Pompeii, where we captured some small carbonized textile artifacts. Again, there were a lot of challenges regarding the light and the reflection, so we used polarization, cross-polarization. And that's some teasers from the 3D model and its resolution. So if someone would like to go to reconstruct such a small piece, it's a piece like 4 centimeters by 4 centimeters. That's the properties that we used. The best case that we ended up is 20 microns. So that's the ideal. Yes, and it was very, very tough to collect all this data for such a small piece. Now, for the processing, we have also dynamics and motion analysis. That's a study that Fraunhofer Institute will do. It's based on 3 levels. So at the yarn level and then also the whole textile. So here, for example, you can see a draping experiment of how strong or elastic a lace is. Some other dynamic related issues where we can extrapolate all this to more complicated structures than just a lace. And also, finally, motion that will be applied to the costumes, for example, that Sanna showed from Greece or the ones from the Opera of Rome. Here, it's a tool where we all have encountered pieces where we have missing parts. So here we're going to employ AI in order to fill in the missing gaps based on some knowledge that will be provided from cultural heritage scientists. So that's a very challenging issue. And also CERT, the research center, another research center from Greece, will develop a digital twin that will be focused on the conservation aspects of an artifact. So basically, it will help the conservators and the archaeologists, of course, in order to define when they should schedule their conservation, their upcoming conservation, which is the artifact that is at most at risk. And finally, perform the conservation. This will be fed also with real-time monitoring data that will be provided from each artifact of interest. Yeah. So, we want to apply AI in order to help the community. So, in order to serve the community, we came up with the idea, apart from focusing on specific tasks that are related to textiles, we're going to develop a machine learning platform where each scientist can upload his own data, his own data set, then perform annotations. So here you can upload a new data set, you can name it, and then you can annotate each image with the things that you would like the system to recognize. Okay, so finally, this can be used then either to train models from the beginning, from scratch, or to find hewn models that are going to be available from us, or a few short learning. So that's, I think, a tool that will help, at least from our perspective, a lot the community if they get used to it and work on it. Another tool that we're going to develop, that is currently developed, and it's also on our GitHub page, it's the 3D annotator, where you can annotate a 3D model that is produced with any technique that you want, with specific information that you would like. So it will follow a metadata schema that will be related to conservation and textiles. So here you can do annotations. Okay, and then this can be also fed to the AI tools. That's a technical slide. Probably it won't be of any interest for you. It's just how we're going to integrate it to the European Collaborative Cloud, and that we need to have specific requirements for them in order to be compliant. So thank you for your time, and that was it. If you want to access any of our... Yes.
Thank you so much. You can stay in our station. Sanna, please come up. Whoa.
Oh.
Okay, so we're almost out of time because this was really interesting. But I know that we have a question online, and Björn will summarize it. And the other ones here in the room, you have to grab these ones at the coffee break and ask all the questions. And meanwhile, we're answering the question. Maybe Cynthia, you can go to Pia and get your headphone fixed. Okay?
Yes.
So.
Yes, there was a discussion in the chat about the climate aspects of such a heavy digital project. Have you done a carbon dioxide analysis of the methods and the long-term storage? And do you have any ideas about how to implement a strategy for that when forming projects?
So I think Sanna would be most appropriate if she knows. So it was a pass.
Yeah, I don't know.
So basically, we have a carbonized collection that is in Pompeii. So if that was the question, so I don't know what's the conditions to keep it, but we're going to monitor it and digitize it again, and maybe if that helps in order to identify its condition on.
It was rather about the climate aspects of.
Yeah, it's more like the climate aspects for storaging all the 3D files. Because you have really storage. Heavy files.
Okay. So no, European Collaborative Cloud will build the whole infrastructure, but at this point, it's not clear yet how it's going to work and where the data will be physically stored. So for this, at this point, we have our server where we're going to store all the data for the project. And yeah, it's not yet, it has place still, but yeah, we have to take that into consideration. And also safety, so that it will not keep copies.
Okay, so I would like to thank you so very much, and I have a gift for you that I, of course, forgot to bring up on stage. This is an experiment from the National Heritage Board. Oh. It's a light with a touch of the Swedish culture heritage smell. Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Or scent, maybe. It's kind of heavy. Well, you have to explore these ones later.
Yes.
It's nice. Thank you so much.